Welcome back to the Pro Wrestling Report Primetime. Reset. Got myself situated there. Figured out where we were. We're going to talk about Versus. It's a fantasy segment, David Hero. It's a segment we did on Primetime several way back in the day. And this week, the combatants selected by one of our Twitter followers. The Real Chris Rob is the name. The Real Chris Rob, as opposed to the fake Chris Rob. And what we do in this segment is look at one superstar of the past versus one superstar of today and compare their skills and determine how that match may indeed turn out. And this week, the Real Chris Rob submitting two names of the past, Mr. Perfect Curt Hennig, and of current status, the best bumper in the business, Dolph Ziggler.
Can you explain what the best bumper in the business really means?
When you get hit, when you're in a wrestling match and you take a fall or you fall down, that's called a
bump.
So there is no one in the business right now who sells it better and does it better than Dolph Ziggler, in my opinion, on this side of the table.
Absolutely. Okay. Relax there.
You ever watch The Daily Show or wow?
We're gonna play hardball here. Come on now.
There's no need for that. There's no need for that. No, I do not watch MSNBC.
Oh, okay.
Contrary to your assumption, there, pal.
Okay.
Are we gonna do this? Really?
Yeah, I'm waiting. Dolph Ziggler and Curt Hennig. Come on.
I think it's an awesome matchup. You know, some people say that some of Kurt's best matches, or one of Kurt's best matches, was SummerSlam 1990. It was Mr. Perfect versus Bret Hart for the Intercontinental Championship. And that's one of those matches
Curt
that you
Hennig
can
with
still
a bad
watch.
back.
Exactly. You can still watch to this day and enjoy. And Curt Hennig would just throw himself, flail himself around that ring, which made the match that much more interesting. And that's similar to that what we see with Dolph Ziggler. And you also got to wonder, as you said, Curt Hennig having that bad back, Dolph Ziggler can't be too far away from potentially a similar injury because that contorting doesn't last on the body very long. But these two men in a wrestling matchup, I think, would be, as you would say, epic.
I think it would be a great match. I don't know if I would call it epic, simply because as
you would say,
as good of a bumper as Dolphy Z is, I just don't think he's in Curt Hennig's league. I mean, Curt Hennig was amazing. I mean, he made guys look. He took guys to the next level. Okay? I don't see Dolph Ziggler doing that yet. Who has Dolph had a great match with besides Daniel Bryan Danielson?
The Rey Mysterio Dolph Ziggler series, the John Morrison Dolph Ziggler series, great series of matchups. The Kofi Kingston
would you
Dolph
put
Ziggler
those
series.
at the same level as, let's say,
I think it's a
Curt
different
Hennig
time.
and Bret Hart?
I think it's a different time. Dolph Ziggler, the Intercontinental Champion.
Mm-hmm.
Mr. Perfect, the Intercontinental Champion. At a time when that belt meant a hell of a lot more. Currently, it means just about nothing.
I think Dolph Ziggler could definitely test Curt Hennig. You know, he could, because he can go. They're very similar as far as their styles.
Mm-hmm.
But I just think Curt Hennig is that much more of a smarter wrestler than Dolph Ziggler.
Yeah.
That would outshine anything. He could do things that would frustrate Dolph Ziggler. And plus, let's face it, Curt Hennig, one of the great promo guys. Dolphy Z, has he really cut a promo yet?
Nothing memorable.
Well, he has, but nothing that you're like, that was good.
Right.
He's always had Vicky with him.
He has not had that buy-in moment. And what I mean by that is, you know, what Austin 316, that's a buy-in moment.
And they've tried so many times where they had him choke out the Great Khali. I mean, they put him in spots to truly succeed, but he just hasn't done it yet. And I think that's more with the booking of his character than actually his own fault, because he is talented, but for me, it's a perfect flex for the 1, 2, 3.
How long would you tolerate watching these two perform? Did they go Broadway?
God, I'd hope not.
Really? Do you have any tolerance for that time,
No.
a 60-minute match?
No.
In this
A Broadway is a time limit draw, just so, because some of them might not know.
That's true.
They don't know what a bumper is.
Dolph Ziggler,
Yeah.
best in the business.
It would never go a Broadway because Kurt's just that good. There aren't too many people that Curt Hennig couldn't beat. I mean, Curt Hennig is a former 8-way world champion.
Multi-time has to be.
Yes. No, one time.
Really?
Yeah.
Only once? Towards the end, too, right?
Maybe twice,
Not during
but once for
the
sure.
what was it, the Battle Bowl or the Super Bowl football thing?
No, he beat Nick Bockwinkel, but lost to Jerry Lawler.
Well, who didn't?
Mm-hmm.
All right, well, I would tend to agree with you. Dolph Ziggler not quite yet on the level of Kurt Hennig, but the career paths are very different for the two of them. I mean, Kurt was never in the Spirit Squad.
No, I don't.
That's a good thing.
No, I don't. Believe me, I don't think Kurt played with those kind of pom-poms.
It's time now for, actually, before we do that, you can send in your suggestions for verses, and potentially we'll pick you as we pick the real Chris Rob this week. Each week, well, every so often, we'll do a versus segment. It all depends on what's going on in the world, you know. We'll do a versus segment and pick 2 stars, one from now and one from then, to determine who might be the victor in that fantasy matchup. And speaking of fantasy, David Hero, it's time to go to what is a very popular segment here on the Pro Wrestling Report Primetime. This Sunday night on pay-per-view, it's TNA Turning Point. And
How many matches are we doing?
I think there's like 8 or 9. Will this be Broadway, the time limit draw?
Oh, God, I hope not. Not with 8 matches.
Let's go.
We pick winners here. We don't do draws.
Actually, before we do this segment, we're going to have a chicken dinner.
Wonderful.
Be the booker. Time to go to the whiteboard. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Be the Booker.
BTB.
BTB for
Yeah, you know
TNA Turning Point this Sunday night on pay-per-view. I want to remind everybody that the PWR Radio Excellence continues. Last night, Serena Deeb, our guest,
Serena.
for the first time ever, she had a lot to say. Going to be in Milwaukee here for Blizzard Brawl on December 4th, coming up in just a few weeks. Also, we will be live tonight, right after TNA's Turning Point pay-per-view, streaming live on our Blog Talk Radio channel. And be sure to join us there and give us a call. We'll be sharing your tweets, emails, and thoughts on the show.
We're
And
live
we're live
Sunday
again.
night, not tonight.
Sunday night, sorry,
Yes.
yes, indeed. Very
Don't
good catch,
confuse
very
the
good catch.
masses.
And then on next Wednesday night, 10 o'clock Central, 11 o'clock Eastern, we'll be live again on 540 ESPN. We apologize for hopping around the schedule so much. We're going to get back into a regular time very, very soon. But enough about that. David Hero, TNA Turning Point this Sunday night.
Look
on
at all these
pay-per-view.
matches.
A good number of matchups, several championships on the line. TNA announcing, or letting everyone know that Matt Morgan's going to be replacing an injured Mr. Anderson in that pay-per-view matchup against Jeff Hardy
Did
for
you
the
see
TNA
that
World
TNA
Heavyweight Championship.
Has now banned the chair shot to the head.
I believe Mr. Anderson himself broke that little bit of information.
How about that? Thank God. You know what? Looking at this on paper, it's a pretty solid pay-per-view.
It is, but let's start and let's go match by match, because what we do in this segment is this guy over here, that one,
This guy.
picks
The guy on the
the
right side.
books it as he sees it going to happen, and I simply predict it from a fan's point of view. And we're going to start with Rob Van Dam versus Tommy Dreamer, representative of EV 2.0 and an independent, I guess you could call him.
Yes, he is considered independent right now.
History there.
So
Big time
So
history.
he's paranoid, right?
Why wouldn't he be?
He thinks everyone's out to screw him right now.
Yeah.
So, what makes the most sense? At some point, Tommy Dreamer defeats Rob Van Dam. Let's say someone from EV2 comes down just to be a part of something, winds up interfering and costing RVD the match to make him just a little bit more paranoid, and Tommy Dreamer leaves Turning Point the winner.
But don't forget, later on, we've got this matchup featuring EV 2.0 going up against Fortune. And it seems to make sense to me for RVD to win this matchup. I just don't see the value in Tommy Dreamer winning.
Because they got to keep him paranoid for a while. Tommy Dreamer has won matches he shouldn't have won already.
Paranoid as to how
are
he
out
defeated
to-
him?
Yeah. Somehow, Tommy Dreamer, it's going to be an unintentional screw job finish on Rob Van Dam. So then RVD will be thinking, okay, which one of you guys is the mole? Which one's trying to screw me over? They got to keep him busy, because right now, Jeff Hardy's going to be tied up with Matt Morgan and these other guys for a little bit. Not Fortune, but some other baby faces. They're going to save RVD and Jeff Hardy for a little while.
You've convinced me Tommy Dreamer wins that matchup. We'll go with that.
Good.
Notice the placement of that. underline.
Mm-hmm.
Next matchup is Mickie James, new to TNA Wrestling, going up against Tara. We've been sold on the history between these two and been attempting to convince us as TNA that this is real drama between Mickie James and Tara. We saw that big brawl last week on Impact to start the show, and now we see the match happening at Turning Point. Mickie James, she's hardcore country, you know,
Yes, she
up
is.
against Tara.
Okay, so now they're investing into this storyline that Mickie James cost Tara her job at the WWE.
Up
correct?
north?
Yes, up north. So if Mickie James comes in and her first pay-per-view match defeats Tara, well, no kidding, then Tara should have been released because she's obviously not that good. They can't let the girl that just comes in from the E to come in and be one of their top knockouts.
But this girl, when she just came in from the E, was the top knockout. She beat ODB and took the title.
But they have to learn their lesson. But keep in mind, ODB then won it back on their first live Impact.
True.
So they had the TNA star beating the Raw SmackDown star.
And a more prominent audience.
So I'm gonna go with Tara, and which some people will say is an upset. But hey, they got to keep some things going here, be a little consistent. Consistent.
And wrestling?
Absolutely. Just make sure we know that Tommy Dreamer is going to win that match.
Should have drawn a lot over there. You know, it seems as if Mickie should win that matchup. Just because of the history of TNA's treatment of former WWE stars.
Mm-hmm.
I see your point on Tara. But where's the TNA Knockouts Championship in this whole thing? It seems that maybe I'm making a bad assumption
that is Madison Rayne.
Yeah, correct. But maybe I'm making a bad assumption that if there's a Knockouts match, it's got to be for the title. And what the heck's going on with the Knockouts tag team titles? We haven't seen those defended in quite a while, at least as far as I can remember.
You miss them? Okay.
Not at all.
Then don't worry about it.
Tara, we'll go with that. Next matchup, it's EV 2.0 versus Fortune. The winning team gets to...
wrong. They've changed it.
Oh.
Whoever gets pinned is fired.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Hey now. It was originally the winning team got to select who left the company from the opposing team.
Listen,
Really? Everybody over there?
Well, red on the right. Absolutely. Why not?
Who from Fortune is going to be in this matchup? Beer Money, I would assume.
Yeah,
Gotta have them on the
it's
show.
going to be Beer Money. You got to figure AJ Styles and Kaz. Or, yeah.
Over on this side, we know that there's some uniqueness going on with him in TNA. There are reports that he may no longer be with TNA after Sunday night. How much longer there? This, I think, is a benefit to TNA. You don't have much to get behind on this side.
No. Nope. That's why Fortune is finally going to put the nail in that coffin. And EV2. Because...
EV2 without Sabu?
No, EV2, he's going to get fired.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Not the guy you're booking now?
No.
All right, well, the next matchup, Jersey Shore style, Robbie E. of
With
the
Cookie.
Shore, with Cookie, not Snooki. What kind of cookie is she? Peanut butter?
Sugar.
Jay Lethal, former X Division champion, current X Division champion rather, versus Robbie E. This match is for the X Division championship. David Hero, what do you think is going to happen? There's been a lot of emphasis on the Shore.
Here's the thing.
Hash mark?
Let's change colors here for a second. $15,000 is invested into this angle with JWoww. How much more does it mean when JWoww comes back that he is your X Division champion?
Oh, gosh.
They got to get these kids over.
It's a taste.
He's already over.
Can they?
Yes.
After that horrible introduction?
Yes. After the introduction, they've actually done pretty good.
Not a bad wrestler, by the way.
No, but 15 grand? They got to invest it back into these people.
Jay Lethal loses the X Division championship to Robbie
Yes.
and Cookie.
Yes. Kind of like when the Honky Tonk Man beat Ricky Steamboat.
And, longest reigning Intercontinental champion of all time.
This one here, I gotta do it. This is my DHHS.
Really?
Yeah. This one.
I like how that marker is sort of blended after you wrote over the blue. A little bit of red and blue together
Yeah.
there, trying to
Purple.
get something done.
Yeah, that would be nice, wouldn't it? There you go. I had to get that blue off my red.
And the truth comes out. Jay Lethal, I hate to see him lose that championship. However,
You know what?
next division
I like Jay
champion so many
Lethal,
times.
super talented kid, but what has he done?
Oh, you impersonated Ric Flair.
And the Macho Man. And since he stopped doing that, he's kind of been stuck in neutral.
Yeah. Next matchup is for the TNA World Tag Team Championships. It's the Motor City Machine Guns. Alex Shelley and Chris Sabin going up against, in their last match, their retirement match, Devon and Brother Ray, Team 3D. They could walk out, retiring as the TNA World Heavyweight Champions, Tag Team Champions, or the Motor City Machine Guns could get what they call, I think, the rub from Team 3D and be that much better.
This one I'm kind of torn on. And it's not because I'm big fans of Team 3D, but them winning doesn't do anything for TNA.
Right.
These guys
Does a lot
here-
for them.
Yeah, but these guys need to win this match. They need to retain the titles and they need to go on because it just makes them that much stronger. It truly makes them the World Tag Team Champions. Otherwise, you guys start a whole new tournament all over again, and that sucks.
Oh, because then, yeah.
The titles are vacant.
Are they really retiring?
Yeah. They got their wrestling school, which will be like OVW
Mhm.
for TNA,
Mhm.
and Devon and Bubba are going to be agents.
Do you think TNA feels they owe them the opportunity to leave, that happy moment on the pay-per-view to leave
no,
as the champions?
I think Team 3D owes it to the Machine Guns to put them over. For all the teams that put them over along the way, and let's not forget, it was about a year ago when these guys dumped one of the Machine Guns on his head and knocked him out of the match.
Stop tape?
Stop tape.
Trish Stratus, I believe, was leaving, won the Divas Championship, retired with it.
Right.
The question wasn't, will they or they do the right thing? The question is, does TNA feel that they need to do the right thing for Team 3D?
The only thing I'm concerned about is Dixie may want to send them out that way.
Mhm.
But if she really cares about what's best for her company, she leaves these guys strong. What's so funny?
What you didn't see was your marker jumped over.
Well, I don't want to put any more stuff on here.
I got to think that they're going to go ahead and do the wrong thing here.
Okay.
Team 3DX, I like that. This should be a fun matchup, though. You got two super talented young men here. You've got two very talented veterans here. Styles
Let's
are
just
vastly
hope that
different.
they
though.
don't go into business for themselves. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Has this match gotten enough attention?
Oh, more than enough.
Really?
I think so.
Big announcement at Bound for Glory.
Mhm.
Had that promo last week on
Yes,
Impact,
plenty,
which was good.
Plenty.
All
Yeah.
right. Samoa Joe versus Jeff Jarrett. Jeff Jarrett back to being what looks like the chosen one with his little haircut now, the heel hair. You know, Jeff Jarrett, Chris Jericho are the two that come to mind. When they go heel, they change their appearance. Jericho always grew a beard when he went heel, and Jeff Jarrett cutting his hair when he's heel. I like that. It just sort of solidifies it. It's good stuff. But Jeff Jarrett, the king of the mountain, the stroke, Slapnuts, the chosen one, will go up against a jaded Samoa Joe. Samoa Joe, really, in my opinion, David, needs to get back to that Joe is going to kill you kind of style.
That'll make a difference.
Maybe not in this particular matchup, but just overall for Samoa Joe.
Let's not forget that this guy right here, Samoa Joe, was tossed over the barrier. At TV, 3 weeks ago?
Mhm.
There's no way he should come back healthy and beat a healthy Jeff Jarrett.
Is there any reason for Jeff Jarrett to lose a match anytime in the near future?
No, because they need to keep everybody in the Immortals strong and unbeatable for a little while. So then finally when they do get beat, it means something.
And Samoa Joe continues to swim around in the pool of obscurity.
Yes.
It's a shame. Abyss versus the Pope. This David Hero is a let me go ahead and finish the job here that the interns didn't finish. A last rites match, otherwise known as a casket match. I'm not sure how we got there, to be honest with you,
I don't either.
but we're there. The Pope versus Abyss in a last rites match this Sunday at TNA Turning Point. And keep in mind, as it wasn't pointed out, as far as I can recall, this is for entertainment purposes only.
Yes, it is.
Aside from the DHHS moment of Robbie E. defeating Jay Lethal for the X Division Championship. Going this way. Is that like a projection? These are your projections, right? We're on this
See,
side.
this is where I'm torn. You know? But if I'm going to stick with my...
You were torn before.
If I'm going to stick with my theory on Immortals not losing, and a last rites match is normally a no DQ, right?
Mm-hmm. Anything goes.
So you got to figure the Immortals, I know it's weird seeing red on the left, but seeing Abyss and the Immortals come out and beat up the Pope.
You know, the only reason red's on the left right now is because it's your boy, the Pope, and you just can't circle him. That's what it is.
Not even the
That's
case.
what it is. You are amazing.
Absolutely I am.
I mean, it just everything's been right down the line, following what you're told to do here, and then here you gotta that one cross won't matter. Just so you know.
I know it doesn't matter because look at all this red here on the right. Yeah.
Abyss has been on a strong roll.
Well, not really. I mean, he hasn't. I mean, he lost a Bound for Glory to Rob Van Dam.
Yeah, but did he really lose because he's part of the Immortals?
So
And they?
let's just say that, let's say Beer Money and Jeff Jarrett and everyone else from the Immortals come out here, beat this guy down, they take him out of the picture just for a week or two, and then Abyss and the Immortals keep rolling through Turning Point.
Okay.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
So,
All right, so Taz made a joke of it last week, but Miss Tessmeyer is being trained by Lacey Von Erich. Tessmacher is being
Yes.
trained by Lacey Von Erich.
yes.
So they made a huge joke of that on Impact, as Taz and Tenay did, or so they've just sort of said it in.
They just shouldn't have said anything at all. I mean, the problem with Taz is 80% of the time he wants to get himself over at someone else's expense.
Yeah.
And that doesn't help the program.
The main event at TNA Turning Point this Sunday. What I was going to get to.
You didn't pick a winner here.
I know. What I was going to get to is, does Fortune need a woman? Oh, woman, won't you marry me now?
No. Wow. I like them apples.
And I'll write it outside the box, because that's how I think. Since you erased them here.
You can always fill them back in.
Main event.
Not even gonna, no. Just, no. I like Matt Morgan, but no.
Didn't that happen too fast?
Yeah, I stroked them pretty quick, didn't I?
I mean, Mac Morgan's transition out of Fortune
Yeah.
to being his own man.
All within one show.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
Over a very delicate situation. The situation being concussions in professional wrestling.
Yeah, that's great, you know? But Matt Morgan's been kicking people's teeth in for how long now? And now all of a sudden he's being sensitive. It was rushed. And they needed someone to fill Kenny Anderson's spot, and that's what they're doing. But Jeff Hardy is going to roll for a little while as the TNA World Champion.
He's got to.
Look at all this red on the right.
I don't.
You know
I'm not
what? You know
familiar
what?
with you're
You
talking
can
about.
tell that this show was being taped in Wisconsin. No question. You know it's a red state?
It's a temporary situation. Let's review the. What are you, making hamburger helper tonight?
Yeah. Like the back of my hand. Oh wait, that didn't work out too well, did it?
Let's review. Teflon, baby. Come on, keep it going. Keep it going.
No.
Teflon, gonna bounce right off.
Should slide right off.
Just in a waiting period.
I'm waiting 2 more years.
TNA Turning Point this Sunday night on pay-per-view. You may as well talk about it, because I can't. It's all over there, and I just don't even want to look at it.
There's nothing to talk about.
Disgusting
This is how
color, yeah.
it should go.
Tommy Dreamer defeating RVD. Tara defeating Mickey James. Fortune defeating EV 2.0 Sabu gone from TNA. DHHS moment of the night, Jay Lethal
Dropping the title.
losing his championship, his X Division championship to Robbie E. And Team 3D loses to the Motor City Machine Guns, who retains the TNA World Heavyweight Championships, because that's the way it should be. Samoa Joe not able to defeat Jeff Jarrett. Jeff Jarrett should be untouchable at this point going forward, and Samoa Joe will be the victim this Sunday night at Turning Point. And the Pope will be placed into that casket.
According
by
to me,
Abyss.
you think he's going to win.
I do. Placed into that casket in the last rites matchup. And the man retaining his TNA World Heavyweight Championship is the former Creature of the Night, Jeff Hardy.
The Antichrist of wrestling.
That's what he calls himself. Now, interesting note, at the end of this pay-per-view, what will have happened? Because I think that's an interesting perspective to look at. Jeff Hardy retains. Robbie E's the new X Division Championship. Sabu is gone. Team 3D retires. Have they told a good enough story overall for the night to make this worth
absolutely.
buying?
Well, if they go with this way, yeah, it's worth the $35. But if they start having this side win, you better ask for a refund.
Be the booker. Here on the Pro Wrestling Report. David, we're going to be live after TNA Turning Point this Sunday night.
Absolutely.
11 Eastern, 10 Central with the post-show. We'll see how much of this happened. Remember, this guy picked Maxine to win NXT Season 3. See how much of this happens, and then come up next Wednesday. Next Wednesday, we are live on ESPN Radio again, 540 ESPN, 11 Eastern, 10 Central. Back in the saddle, baby! So be sure to tune in. This looks like an interesting pay-per-view, one worth checking out for them. No matter what, you're going to get some good matchups. Jay Lethal versus Robbie E will be good. RVD Dreamer will be decent. Mickey James Turner will be a good ladies match. Samoa Joe, Jeff Jarrett should entertain. Team 3D Motor City Machine Guns could steal the show. And Matt Morgan versus Jeff Hardy will be interesting, to say the least. David Hero, that's all we got.
That's all I got for
This
you.
has been the Pro Wrestling Report Prime Time. We'll see you Sunday, right after Turning Point, with our live post-show.